What's up everyone? It's me again, your teacher XK Chairman at your service. So for today's lesson, let us talk about finding the roots of a quadratic equation by factoring. As we all know, factoring is a method used to solve a quadratic equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 and or ax squared plus bx equals 0. And recalling the different ways of factoring that you have learned in your grade 8, so we have 4. And we have the common monomial factor, the difference of two square, the perfect square trinomial, and the general quadratic trinomial. So let us try to differentiate the four ways of our factoring. By the way, for this factoring, for this method, we use the zero product property. And what is the zero product property? It states that if A and B are real numbers and AB equals 0, then A equals 0 or B equals 0. So this is also true for 3 or more factors. So for any factors equal to 0, the product is always equal to 0. Let us talk first about common monomial factor. So for the common monomial factor, as you can see, our quadratic equation here is in the form ax squared plus bx equals 0. So what are we going to do? So to factor this kind of equation, of course, kailangan nating humanap ng common monomial sa kanilang dalawa. We have the 2x squared and the 10x. And as you can see, ang common nila ay 2x. So ilabas natin ngayon yung 2x. And ano ba yung matitira sa 2x squared plus 10x? So 2x squared divided by 2x is equal to x. Okay? And 10x divided by 2x is equal to 5 and equals 0. So, as you can see, na-factor na natin sila, and that's the process of common monomial factor. So, in getting the roots of the quadratic equation, then we use the zero product property. So, we have 2x equals 0 and x plus 5 equals 0. And divided by 2 for our first roots, So we have x equals 0. So cancel. And sa kabila naman, transpose positive 5 to the right side. So we have x equals negative 5. Okay, so our roots are 0 and negative 5. That's it, the common monomial factor. For the difference of 2 square, let us try to consider the given x squared minus 49. Okay, as you can see, this x squared minus 49 is in the form x squared plus c equals 0. Pero, as you can see, our c here, the constant, is a perfect square. And if we're going to transpose it to the right side, then we can get the value of the x using the square root property. But of course, we are in the zero product property rather. Then let us try to answer this x squared minus 49. And what is the factor of 49, which is a perfect square? Okay, that is that are the same with each other. So perfect square. So ano ba yung number na ang lalabas ay 49 pag multiply natin sa sarili niya? So we have 7. Okay? So therefore, our factor here is x plus 7 minus 7 equals 0. So how come na ganun yung factor natin? Because positive 7 here multiplied by negative 7 is equal to negative 49. Okay? And we're going to use FOIL method. the midterm or the middle term of the equation is always equal to 0. Okay? Therefore, yun lang, dapat yun ang tandaan dito. Kapag ganito yung given at perfect square, yung ating constant, automatic, ganito yung sagot, ganito yung pattern, magkaiba yung sign. Okay? So, therefore, using the zero product property, so we have here x plus 7 equals 0, x minus 7 equals 0, and then transpose the number, we have x equals negative 7, x equals positive 7. Therefore, our roots are 7 and negative 7. So that is the process of the difference of two square, the factoring. And now for the perfect square trinomial, so let us have the given x squared plus 10x plus 25. So let us try to factor our quadratic equation here. Okay, so parang ang hirap. Okay, pero actually, this is just a review of what you have learned in your grade 8. Okay, so ibig sabihin, you should have the lesson or the learnings about this. Okay? So, paano makukuha yung factor ng ganito? Pag sinabi natin perfect square trinomial, okay, so look at see here, our constant. Does 25 a perfect square? Yes, 25 is a perfect square. At ano ba yung number na kapag pinag-multiply sa sarili ng dalawang beses, okay, ay lalabas ay 25. So we have 5. And dahil positive ang sign natin dito, therefore, okay, positive and positive here, therefore our factor are x plus 5, x plus 5 equals 0, because if we're going to add 5x and 5x, the answer is 10x. Okay, the middle term of the quadratic equation. And because 25 is a perfect square, ang dapat yun ang tandaan kapag perfect square, ano ba yung number? So we have 5. And if we're going to add 5 plus 5, dapat lalabas dun yung ating middle term na 10. Okay? So that's the idea of the perfect square trinomial. And of course, kailangan nyo i-consider pa rin yung mga sign. Okay? So kapag iyan ay negative, pag ito ay positive sign at ito ay negative sign, therefore, mababago pa rin dapat yung ating sign na sagot. Okay, so using zero product property, we have x plus 5 equals 0, x plus 5 equals 0, and transpose, we have x equals negative 5, x equals negative 5. So therefore, our roots are negative 5 and negative 5. Lastly, for the general quadratic trinomial, so let us try to consider the given x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. As you can see, kapag sinabi natin general quadratic trinomial, okay, so look at the constant here, 8, and look at the middle term, and of course, the first term natin, okay, so we have x squared, and 8 as the constant, and the middle term is negative 6x. Now, ito naman kasi hindi natin to problema kasi 1 lang yung given dito. Okay? So, 1 lang yung ating letter A. So, wala tayong problema doon. So, look at number 8. What factor of 8 na kapag pinag-add or subtract natin, ang lalabas ay yung ating middle term. Okay? So, come to think of it. Okay? So, we have 1 times 8, 2 times 4, 4 times 2, 8 times 1. And as you can see, if we're going to add or subtract 1 and 8, the answer is 9 or 7. But if we're going to add or subtract 4 and 2, the answer is 6 and 2. Okay? So therefore, 4 and 2 must be the number, okay, na kailangan natin dito para masagutan natin to. Okay, so let us try. Let us put 4 and 2 and x for the first term because x times x is equal to x squared. Now, let us see the sign of the middle term. Okay, which is negative. Oh, so we have negative 6x. Now, ano ba yung pwede natin gawin sa sign na to na kapag pinag-add natin or subtract, ang lalabas ay negative 6x? Okay, syempre, sabi nga natin kapag same sign, add, okay? Therefore, itong ating sign na to is pwede lang ay positive, positive, negative, negative. And dahil bawal ang positive, positive kasi nga negative yung sign nitong gitna, therefore, our sign here is x minus 4 and x minus 2 equals 0 because if we're going to add negative 4x plus negative 2x, the answer is negative 6x. And by using the zero product property, we have x minus 4 equals 0, x minus 2 equals 0, and then transpose x equals 4 and x equals 2, and therefore the roots are 4 and 2. And that is the general quadratic trinomial. For better understanding, let us have another example. Okay. Let us try to find the roots of the given equation 2x squared minus 12x equals 0. So what do you think ang gagamitin natin for this? Which is the common monomial factor. Okay, so ano yung factor ng 2x squared minus 12x that is common sa kanila? Ano ba yung pwede nating ilabas? Okay, 2x. Very good. So 2x times, ano yung 2x squared divided by 2x is x. Negative 12x divided by 2x is negative 6 is equal to 0. And for this one, using the zero product property, so we have 2x equals 0, x minus 6 equals 0. And transposing or dividing both equation or both side by 2, x is equal to 0. Sa kabila naman, transpose negative 6 to the right. So, x is equal to positive 6. Therefore, our roots are 0 and positive 6. For our last example, let us try to find the roots of x times 3x minus 18 equals 21. Okay, it seems complicated. Okay, pero try pa rin nating sagutan. So, ano ba yung dapat muna nating gawin kapag may ganitong given? Okay, so we have so much ways in answering this kind of given. Pero, sige, unahin muna natin tong way ko. Okay, so we distribute or multiply x sa 3x and x sa negative 18. So, we have here 3x squared minus 18x equals 21. So, we multiply x to 3x, which is 3x squared, and we multiply x to negative 18, which is negative 18x, then copy 21. And to make it in a general form of the quadratic equation, so transpose positive 21 to the left side, so we have 3x squared minus 18x minus 21 equals 0. And now let us try to get the factor of our given equation. Okay, so sige, try muna natin silang i-factor. And for our first term, which is the 3x squared, ano ba yung factor ng 3? We have the 3 times 1 lang only. Okay, therefore we have here 3x and x because 3x times x is 3x squared. Now, look at negative 21. Ano ba yung factor ng negative 21? Na kapag nilagay natin dito at pinag-add or subtract, ang lalabas ay negative 18. Considering we have 3 here. Okay? So, we have so much factor para sa negative 21. Okay? So, try muna natin yung 7 and 3. Okay? So, let us try to put 7 here and 3 here. Okay, if we're going to multiply, 3 times x is 3x and 7 times 3 is 21. So, parang nandun na. Okay? Ang kailangan lang natin ilagay ay yung sign. Dahil ito ay negative yung 21, so dapat positive, negative yung sign natin. Okay? And as you can see, our negative our middle term here is negative. Therefore, kailangan yung mas malaking product dapat sa dalawang ito ay negative yung sign. So let us try to put 3x and 7x. 3x and 7. So try natin i-multiply sa 21. Mas malaki yun kaysa sa 3x. Ito yung 3x na isa. Okay? So therefore, ito yung gawin nating negative. Ito yung positive. So if we're going to multiply 3x and negative 21x and then try to subtract or add, okay, so the answer is negative 18x. Therefore, our answer here is correct. Our factor here is correct. Okay? And then by zero product property, so we have 3x plus 3 equals 0 and x minus 7 equals 0. Then transpose the positive 3 to the right side, we have 3x equals negative 3, and negative 7 to the right side, we have x equals 7. As you can see, this one can be factored, okay, or can be in its lowest term. So divided by 3, our x, syempre cancel to, our x is equal to negative 1, and dito sa kabila, our x is equal to 7. Therefore, our roots are negative 1 and 7. So, our roots are negative 1 and 7. And actually, para malaman natin kung tama yung nakuha nating sagot or tama yung nakuha nating roots, pwede natin itong i-check by substituting the value of the given x. Okay? By substituting the roots to the value of the x rather. And then, kung tama, kung nag-equal to 0 sila parehas, 0 equals to 0, then, therefore, you have the right roots dun sa sagot mo. Okay? So, that's all for now. And if you have question, you can directly message me, my Facebook account, Ben Cabicente or Vincent Durante Pasachempo. And thank you and God bless. Mabuhay!